Well, if you guys aren't going to show your pictures, I'm not going to show myself. Haha.
Oh, now we're sad.
I gave my video camera to my wife, so.
Okay.
All right. Do you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So I'm sorry, I'm a little bit late.
Oh, it's fine. You're right on time. We had technical errors.
All right. I saw some comments about the submission. I have only 3 topics that I'm still waiting for feedback. But other than that, I received disagree on 7, I think, or 8 topics.
Okay. So just keep us updated on that. I'm going to allow people to work on the app that we're going to choose today. If by Wednesday or like Thursday, you guys, he gets your feedback back and you guys are on disagree for everything, then you're free to work on this app with us. But if there's still some strongly disagrees, I did talk to the teacher about this, and he said that most likely you'll have to find a new group or make your own app on your own. I don't know, because we only have 3 weeks to build this, so we might be too far ahead in our app by a week to, put people in it. So I hate to be the bad guy, but I'm going to at least give you guys till Wednesday or Thursday to make sure that those topics are ready and you can jump on this app for us with us.
Quick question. Who is still waiting for feedback?
I've got all mine.
I've got all mine.
Okay.
I even resubmitted, and I'm at agree for like over 50% of them now, and strongly agree. That made me happy to see that.
All right. And Jonathan, did you get all of feedback back?
No, I'm still waiting on it. I'm requesting assessment today, so.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I'm waiting. I submitted, but I'm waiting for it hopefully today or sometime this week.
Okay. So yeah, just keep us updated, because we don't want to, have people drop out of this app because they have to do their coding and they might be assigned like an important part. So
all right, no problem.
We're going to be careful while we plan today. So I don't know if you guys have opened the group meeting agenda, but the first one, I wanted to just help with some final coding topics, JavaScript errors. If you guys run into any problems, this will be our last chance to really help each other with our coding topics. So does anyone have any questions about that?
I think I got all mine, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure after the feedback what will happen. So, but now I think I got mine for now.
All right. And Jonathan, anything you need help with?
I'm starting on the CSS transition, and I should have that done this weekend. So I think that's the last one that I need.
Okay. But do you understand it? That's the one I have a video for.
I haven't even started it, so I'm going to be watching it today. So. Yeah,
and then just go ahead and ping me on the chat if you need help with anything. I do have in-laws visiting, so I don't know if I'll be at the computer all the time, but by Monday, I'll make sure to be on there and helping out.
Okay.
Whenever I can.
Well, actually, we received an email from the instructor yesterday, and he said like we have until 11 p.m. today to submit, or 12, I think. Is it a last submission tonight?
A what submission? Like a last?
Yeah. Is the last one?
This is the last submission. Like if you have it to start the app development. On Monday is like our first day of developing apps, where technically today is still a code topping week.
Right.
But, by 11 p.m. tonight, if you're not at those disagrees, you can't, start developing with us on the app. So I'm hoping you guys get your feedback soon. And that's why I'm only allowing it till like Wednesday, because we can't help you with coding topics at that point. If you are not at disagree and everything yet, next week, you need to finish. You need to get those to disagree. And you have to keep working on your coding until you're ready to start your app. So that's why I'm just kind of making sure we're okay as a group today, so that we can get to work next week as soon as possible.
Perfect.
Okay. So we need to have our app submissions in today?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, not an app submission. No, we don't have to do our app submission. Our coding topics are in today.
Okay.
And then our app design will be when we finish that, which hopefully we'll have our app completely designed and refined. I've only got a rough draft ready right now, and I'm hoping next week we can submit for our app design, and then, we're going to be working on it pretty hard these next 3 weeks, because we only have 3 weeks to build this thing.
Yeah,
Is that
that's
for all the
crazy.
group, Kelly, or individually?
I
The
talked to the
draft.
teacher about this. If you
Uh-huh.
are in a group, so let's say, a few of us, or like all of us, hopefully next week we start our app. If we're all working on the same app, we can all submit the same design document.
Perfect.
If you don't end up working on our group app, you've got to make your own design and submit that yourself.
Fantastic.
Yep.
All right.
So basically, it's easier if you have pulled off the the topics that disagree, because otherwise you're on your own for 3 weeks, and that would be miserable to have to
Yeah.
build.
Yeah, for sure.
So I
Actually-
really want to make sure everyone's, I would hate to leave anyone behind,
Yeah.
but it sounds like we're okay as long as you guys get those feedbacks by tonight. I mean, if tonight's the last time to submit, I'm hoping that means he'll do feedback a lot quicker than usual to make sure we know.
I was kind of confused on some postings he did on. It sounded almost like he was saying that tonight was the last night for code topic submission, but then later on it sounded like he was saying that you could submit after this.
After that,
This
yes.
is the last time to know if you can go forward with the app. Like and if you're not, then yeah, you're stuck next week still doing coding topics while everyone else goes into the app. That's what I understand.
Yeah, I remember. I understand too that after the app design, I think whatever, if you want to send another submission for another feedback to get like higher credit,
you're free
I
to do
think.
that.
Exactly. Mhm.
Because I just barely submitted for reassessment to try and get my grades up higher yesterday, and he still has posted some feedback to help me get up to strongly agree kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
So I probably could still work on that. I only have, let's see, 2 topics are the only ones I don't have agree on. So like I can probably work on those 2 topics while we're doing our app and try to get those up. And then I know that our topics will also go up with our app. He'll see our work in our app, and that will help. We need to make sure we hit all of our topics in our app, and that will help our grades go up as well.
So do we need to be strongly agree by the end of class, or how does that work?
I think that depends on your grade, because I've got all of them in, and I currently only have a C because I have Q in the disagree column and a couple in just agree. And so technically I'm done, but if I want an A, I'll need to push for some higher grade, for some better coding kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I've technically been graded. I don't have to, but I will.
But is it like the app project? Is it kind of like 50% weight of the grades, or
Let me see. I'll look at
everything
our assignments
based
right
on the
now.
topic? What's
Let's
that?
see. Our topic is like, I'm looking at our grades. It should show
Uh-huh.
the different percentages. Code topics are 10 points. Everything's 10 points, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So and then there's only 5 grading of 10 points. So it's a good 1/5 of your grade is the app design. Then there's professional behavior, scheduling, and your journal. It are the other 10-point sections.
Which means even if we still got like disagree, and then we got on all other topics, we might jump to B or B plus or A minus, isn't it?
I don't know. Do some math, because I remember when
yeah.
I had all of my topics that just disagree, I had a D minus. And technically that's a grade, but it's not one I would want.
Oh, can you see your total grade?
I don't want to show my grades off, but I'll show my assignments.
No. What I'm saying, can you see your total grade and because I'm trying to see mine, I couldn't. How do you see
I
that?
only have here. I'll show this. I don't care about you guys seeing my C plus.
Mm-hmm.
And that should give you an idea.
Because I tried to see mine.
But you see right here, I've got the 7.72, and there's my C plus.
Okay.
And then once I get the rest of these in, that will push my grade up. And then in your final grades, it's by 10 points each. So about 1/5 of your grade is each topic.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about we click my grades and grades.
Yeah.
So does our final app help increase our code topic fluency?
Yeah, I think he mentioned that. It will help push our code topic.
Okay.
He said that in one of my feedbacks. Let me see. Like it was in my JavaScript something. You'll slide up to agree over time as you combine topics and use these with other code topics. I don't know. maybe we need to do these on our own. Maybe the app will help. I say improve your code topics. If he's left feedback, like here's one of my disagrees, the object creation. If he's left feedback, I suggest, doing the feedback. Where these ones I have like blank, so I probably don't need to worry about them anymore because they're more about seeing my work elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. So let's see, next question. We've read where is everyone in achieving their disagree? Yes, there's opportunity for improvement. Final app, and then does this need to run on an app or a mobile device, or can it be simply hosted on a website and visited through a browser on a mobile device? I did ask him this. We will be building this on a browser, but it needs to be mobile friendly. So we need to make sure we have screen equals media kind of thing.
Oh, yes. Okay.
It needs to be mobile friendly, but we will be building this on a website.
Excellent.
Okay. Now I've had some issues with the on-touch attribute versus the on-click attribute on the mobile devices. I found that if you have both of those properties on a tag and you touch it with the mobile device, it will execute both.
Okay, I have done this before. I'm going to look up my code right now because I did a real estate website where you had to use, I made it mobile friendly and I made it so it worked. So I'm going to look up and see what I did for that specifically.
Okay. And I believe I remember seeing it on yours, Kaylee, where it was executing both.
Yeah, I did. I didn't do it right on that one. He didn't get mad at me for it, though. I'm going to look at some old code that I built, though. We're not allowed to copy, but it'll show me how I'm supposed to do it because I have successfully done it before.
While you're doing that, I'm going to answer those questions.
Let's see. I did an on-click and an on-touch start on my old ones.
On-click,
They just
on-touch,
called functions. So maybe they were doing the same thing. It's an old code. It was before I knew what I was doing. But that's what I used, and it worked when I used it on a phone.
Okay.
We can always look it up for our app and fix it.
Yeah. There's online help for that.
Just
so.
Google search how to just touch something, that kind of thing. Okay.
So there is opportunity, answering the first question, there is opportunity after this week to increase our co-topic fluency.
Yes.
Right?
He wouldn't have left feedback on mine if I'm not allowed to work on it more, I feel.
All right. We asked that question. Sign up, increase.
I'm going to put a maybe on that just in case I'm wrong. We can always double check.
Okay.
So this is the group meeting for today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
When it needs to be submitted, today too, or next week?
No, not submitted today.
Okay.
We need to decide on what we're going to design, and then we need to all be working on the creation on the document.
All right.
Yeah, and I have a document ready and set up as well.
Cool.
I'm just going to share that once we get to that part in the list.
I know what Kaylee's idea is, but what is your guys' ideas?
Let's see. Yeah, pitch app design project and select one. So who wants to pitch their idea first? I made a video, but I'm happy to go over it or answer questions.
I had just a real simple idea. I don't have anything to show for it because I've been so busy. But my idea was that we could create a goal-oriented app that keeps a local storage tally of what you've accomplished and what you haven't accomplished. So it would be a app that you could write your goals in, and it would save that to the local computer. And then you could track what you accomplished. We could have a section in there for notes. We could put a section in there for subtasks. We could put in due dates or reminders, things like that. It could have some functionality that way.
I wrote down your idea and some of those things you want to make sure it implements. Okay.
Does anyone know if you, I don't think we reviewed this yet. Can you use JavaScript to create a TXT file on the server?
Let's see. Google search.
It's not real important. We can find that out later, but that's some functionality I was thinking of, that data could be stored on the server.
Mhm.
And then it could be retrieved.
Saving a text file on server using JavaScript. Yes. I'm
Okay.
I'm just on the first Google search page, but I'm seeing enough. It includes PHP though. We want to figure that out. Could be complicated, but it looks like it is possible.
I don't want to do that.
Okay. I think if we just use some text boxes and local storage, I think it would be fine.
Okay, that's good.
We could always give them a character limit too, so they're not like writing huge things to store.
Yeah. Well, that
We can
way,
figure that out.
I was just thinking that'd be cool. That way they could access that goal list from anywhere. But
Okay.
let's keep it simpler.
All right. Anyone else have an idea for an app?
I'll go and give mine.
Okay.
My idea is it's about music, and there's a lot of times that you think of a song that you don't know the name to. And so I was thinking that you could hum it, and the program analyzes it, a small part, and then it'll be able to find that song.
Okay,
That
so that
sounds
would at
hard.
least, yeah, I'm a little concerned. That would be extremely hard to program. I have never built analyzing that could like take a person's voice and analyze it. That might be a little too much for JavaScript.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to use a wave program. I'm into
Yeah.
music.
I mean, I like the idea in that it would make us use a database because we would have to have some kind of musical database. But how are we gonna, record a voice, compare it to every song in that database,
Yeah.
and hopefully they're not tone deaf and got it wrong. This kind of software does exist, so it's obviously possible. But I don't know if it's gonna hit all of our topics or if it's gonna be even possible for us to do.
That's
I think-
kind of
I've never
Yeah.
done anything like that. I've put it on the list though, so we can keep
Yeah.
it in mind because I do like that it uses a database, and we need to make sure to do something like that.
A database?
Well,
use
don't
a
we have to do
database?
local storage API, like, and call up a database from somewhere else?
Yeah.
It's one of our
Okay.
coding topics.
When you said database, I'm thinking of like SQL. And,
Oh no, we're not touching that. I have enough
Okay.
work in my other class for that.
yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to have a list of all the songs and probably get rights to use them.
Yeah, and that's where we could use local storage API. We could use someone else's database
Hmm.
and pull up the music that is, allowed to do that. But I'm thinking that might be too hard of a project for us. That's like
Yeah.
100-person development team company type app, not what we have to build. We have 3 weeks, and I
Yeah.
can't build software that analyzes a tune. Okay, Macrom, do you have any ideas?
Oh, well, I don't have anything on my mind right now, but there is let's see, initial app that I was thinking of. It's kind of like a resume, and that you can have it as an app. And I have an example I can show you very, very quick if you would like that.
That'd be great.
Let me see. All right, this is screen. All right. So this is an app. It's not an app; it's a website, but it can work as an app when you. It is very much shows your skills, resume, and it can goes like, isn't that like this, and very much. I don't know. I built this for fun, but I thought might be a good idea to have a resume and app, but I'm not sure.
My only question is, what kind of features would it have? Kind of like Justin has notes, subtasks, due dates. What would be the purpose of a resume app? I don't quite understand.
It is sometimes when you let's see. Sometimes when you apply for jobs, they sometimes ask you oh, do you have a resume written or hard copy, whatever. But when you have an app where you can see like analyzed by the data, for example, if you have, but it's going to be SQL also, but I don't want that to work with. So like showing you how many people are interested in your app and how it is kind of like that, but I'm not sure if it's going to be a successful idea or not, since it's going to take huge of, but I might think for something else, but this is kind of an initial idea, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of a resume app. That sounds
Mm-hmm.
useful.
Mm-hmm.
We could even come up with an idea where that's how we could start sending resumes, and then it'd help just track it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I don't know, but it just came to my mind as a.
I like the idea of a resume app.
Have you
though,
seen it? Have you seen it or did it not? The example that I showed you.
I have a mypage.html showing on your screen, like a folder. I'm not seeing anything running.
Oh, okay, okay. Hold on a sec.
Maybe that will help me.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not seeing it.
All right. All right. Give me a second. Do you see it now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
that's
right.
a lot better than I was trying to think of it blindly. That's awesome.
Okay, this is what I created so far, and then you can have like the skills that you might it shows you. I mean, it has to be connected to the data somehow, but this is, I just did it as CSS, but you can use JavaScript with that, and also people can when people like recommend you on each skill, it can go like that. It's like LinkedIn, you know what I mean? So
I like
very
that.
much, yeah, very much like that. It shows like a language. It is very easy to build and it's very useful as an app. I've been looking for like a resume app. I haven't found, but this is very simple.
Looks like a good idea.
Yeah. Thanks
And
for the visuals too.
very easy to build and useful, and I'm sure also like is a very brand new idea to have a resume app where people can. I'm not sure, but this is kind of idea that it came to my mind.
I like it a lot. Thanks, Macram, for all that work.
No problem.
So this is, you made this resume with like this app thing. This is your idea of what the app would create?
Yes, exactly.
Huh. That's
Very cool.
Yeah, very cool.
So
Yeah, you can see how employers can use that to see the level of skills.
yeah, it is, you know.
Especially for someone who's, still in college, because I've been doing my internship interviews and I have to keep telling them at the beginning of the interview, like, okay, I haven't taken all my semesters yet, but I'll have these skills eventually, or I'm at this % of the class. Like that would be really useful for someone who hasn't gotten experience yet and is still working on some topics.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just briefly show my app again, just to help refresh. I made a pitch video because I was bored. But it would just be a music tracking practice app. This was come up with by my husband because he's a music teacher and often he doesn't know if his kids are practicing at home or not. So this would just be, you'd select from the side what you want to do. And like, here's what the practice page would look like.
Cool.
And you'd press start and it would start the timer, and then stop would stop the timer. And then you can send if you practice to your teacher. But as soon as you press stop, it will also mark it in the calendar. And you can see, what time you practiced, for how long, and then if you submitted it to the teacher or not. And you could just like click on a day. I know that there's image clicking, and you can just click on a day on the calendar and check your progress. And that's where we could store things, and they can see how much they've been practicing this week. Then there would be resources over here that be listening, and we can do like, these are like drones, because I don't know, like the whole music the kind of like John's trying to recognize a voice and find a song. I didn't want us to try and build a tuner, so I just put like a note that will play, and they can tune along with it for each note in the keys. And like, here's an example of rhythms. There would be the rhythm here, and they can sight read it, but they can also listen to it and see, and try to learn how to play the rhythm. It would go from like easiest to hardest as you scroll down.
Very
And
nice.
then Same idea with duets. It'd be kind of like they have their music up here, and they can listen to either the top staff or the bottom staff to play along with. And of course, we'll have like treble clef and bass clef. They can choose depending on what instrument they play. Charts would be like a fingering chart. So if like they don't know, like they have a note show up in their music and they don't know how to play that note, they could pick their instrument and it would show the chart to help them finger with it. Also, like for very beginner musicians, you could have some like how to hold your instrument charts. So just some basic things there. Then videos would be like some YouTube videos to help them listen with or learn some basic education and just give them some resources to practice along with. But the main bulk of the app would be here and the calendar, the timer and the calendar page.
That's really good. So what kind of program did you design that? Like, did you use like Photoshop or?
Yeah, this is Photoshop. Here's how I'm showing my layers.
Cool. It's really good.
Yeah, I even animated my button.
That's really good.
So that was my idea, and yeah. So now that we've pitched our ideas, we need to pick one. I like both Justin's and Macrum's because a goal tracking app is similar to mine, but a lot simpler. We would have a lot less resources to worry about with the goal tracking app. I want to keep it simple. If we only have 3 weeks to build this thing, I think simpler is better. And then I love the resume app because I think that would be so useful. And heck, we could like actually build something to distribute with the resume app.
Yeah, and I have this. So very much the structure is ready. I mean, we can. So,
Macron, just to clarify, so I understand what your app is, you're going to have like several input fields, and then after you input that information, it will create this resume.
Or do you upload your resume as a document?
It depends on how we want to implement it. It is just for me, I just put it as an as a document. But if we want to have it like develop it with like data input, and then it's gonna come exactly the same form, we can do that. I mean, I'm open to discuss with that. I mean, it's gonna be more unique and absolutely is gonna break the record.
Yeah, and we can design it, we can get some more intricate details on there on our actual design document. Like here's the basic. I looked up an actual app design document, and this is kind of what we need to hit. An audience it's for, what the experience will be like using it, different examples of how it will be used, and then features is where we can kind of go more in depth and say, this is what we want to do, and this is how it's going to work. And then we'll have some mock-up displays.
Exactly, and it is something that's going to help us all, so everybody can have like app resume, whatever, or we can have it as a document, we can have it as an input data, and then it can convert to the a form, PDF form, whatever would be. I'm open to it. I mean, it is. We can discuss that, and we see what is better to do it. For me, I just did it as a document. But I'm open to change that.
Yeah, and I think it's just going to depend on what we decide and what we think we're capable of doing. And while we're building this, we can, of course, go back and tweak things to make them a little simpler. If we start with a big idea and it's too much, we can always go back and fix it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, any votes? Which one are we going to pick?
Let's see. I think I vote Macrum.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking as well.
And I guess I'll vote for that too. So we're going to go resume app.
Okay.
All right.
Do green. There we go. Okay, so now let's go through our app design document. I'll share this link with you guys right now.
Yeah, good job, Macrum, on the design.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a really good idea.
Thanks.
And very
I think
doable.
it'll be
That's what
simple
I'm looking
enough,
at too.
and
yeah.
Okay, so I've shared the document on our Google Hangout, so we can all jump on there.
What am I, Kaylee? Am I like the anonymous walrus or something?
I've got anonymous camel.
Yes.
Your peak.
All right. Now the most important thing. What are we going to call the app?
That's a good question. Probably Kaylee has some ideas.
I like to do my titles at the end of design. Justin, you broke things.
Sorry.
What'd you do?
I just tried to select it. Sorry, guys, I sneezed.
I like to name an app after we've gone through it. We'll understand what the app is for a little better, and then it will give us a chance to name it. So first, let's think about our audience.
This is going to be for anyone, I believe, in a technical profession, computer-based. I think it could be engineering-based, but I think it's mostly for a technical profession, as it illustrates skill. Because you can tell them, I made this, and it put all this information together and presented it in such a cool way.
And also, I was thinking to add another page for the resume, to add like their projects on one of the pages, like this is my projects. You can click on any button, take you to my project, something like that. We might implement that,
Yeah.
but as long as we go forward and work on it, we can add one more page, and then I'm not sure, but it's just an idea. Like, for example, like a lot of people have their resumes, but they never include their projects on their resumes. Why can't you create another page which all the projects you done in the school, at work, somewhere, and let like the employment click on each of these apps and see what we have done?
Okay.
It's a good idea.
I'm thinking more, that's features, so keep that in mind. I'm just trying to type our audience right now, and I'm getting confused.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Don't want to confuse you.
Let's see. This application is for anyone in a technical profession looking for a career. It will help. And honestly, it could be for any profession, because you can link projects, and those projects could be things like an art portfolio. So it could be for more than just technical professions, a broader audience that way.
Right.
You could link to like your art portfolio or your photography portfolio kind of thing. So this could be for anyone let's see, so not in a profession, for anyone.
Yeah, it definitely could.
Looking for a career, entry level or otherwise. Will
Anyone looking for a job? It's about anyone.
it will help
Macron,
demonstrate
do
their
you think
skills.
that you would be able to share that document?
Yeah,
Yeah, that will
absolutely.
help if we look at that while we're building this.
What I need to do, I wanna I have it on my computer because I have been working on it like the last few weeks, but I haven't uploaded on the server yet. But I'm gonna do it today, and I send you the link, guys, so you can look at it.
Okay.
Okay, that'd be great.
Kaylee, how'd your interview go? Got a response?
Not yet. And if I don't get it, I'm just happy it went well. It gave me a good learning experience, so I'm ready for the next one.
For sure.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me. I haven't done it yet.
Good luck when you do. I'm curious to see what internships everyone gets. I'm looking for one still.
Yeah, I've got to find. I think I need to start interviewing even more. I haven't found one yet.
Yeah.
I went and interviewed for a job one time, and it was about a month later. I kind of forgot about them, and then they called me. So you got it.
That's really good. Actually, I heard from Expertise, who's working with a computer. He has hired almost like 500 people, and he used to be I taught him Arabic at BYU a while ago, and he took like have you heard about Div Mountain a while ago? And he took like some courses and become like a web developer. Anyway, he said that he's hiring people, and the most like they look for people who like have one semester left, or they already finished their degree and they want to just start scholarship at the end. So they make sure they can have that person instead of coming and then 5-6 months later he's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
it is kind of people like looking, even if you're looking for a scholarship, I mean internship, they still want to have you have had the most the classes that you can implement at work or apply at work instead of teaching you.
Well, I'm not to that point yet.
Mhm.
Just starting out.
Okay, so I finished audience. I've got our audience is for people looking for a career, entry level or otherwise. And then another potential audience being small businesses who might want to streamline their resume process. They could like navigate interested parties to the app. They can upload the resume and send a link to the company for review. So we have two kinds of audiences. We have a person using it audience and a business audience. So that will help broaden the usability of it. Now we got to think about what the experience of this app is going to be. For my music one, I wrote down like the primary experience around this app is to make practicing for young students more engaging and easier to keep track. The app needs to be easy to use, navigate, provide enough features to keep it engaging to young musicians. So think around those lines about what is it going to be like for someone to use this app.
Yeah, it needs to be very simple.
Okay.
Simple and intuitive.
I like words.
So this is going to be a place for someone to upload their resume. I thought this was a resume creation app.
Well, originally he just uploaded his document. So if we're going to do more creation, then I'll focus on that instead. So we're going to create the resume for now until we decide if that's hard or not.
Okay.
Intuitive way to create and present a resume to interested employers. To accomplish this, our app needs to be. Okay, so what does this app need to be to accomplish that goal?
This app is designed to interested.
Accomplish that.
To have. Is this going to be a app where the user gets to select some elements, like they get to pick some kind of template, resume template, or they get to pick what background color, or are we going to have this like customizable, or is it going to be a set? Like
if we have it too abroad, then we might not. It might be like too hard for us to accomplish, right? I think if we focus,
like I don't know if we can implement all the features of Word documents into this.
All right.
No.
So I'm not sure if we can add a feature where people can how can I say that?
We could implement something where like you can change the background color.
Yeah, we can do that. Mm-hmm.
Or make something a square instead of a circle, or I don't know. That might be too hard, but
no, that would be easy enough. Change some like CSS elements to, like on his example, he had his skills listed, and they could choose how those are presented, make it a circle or square, just some basics.
Yeah.
The teacher did say ours does not need to be an extremely complicated new age app. We just need to really demonstrate what we've learned in the class. So as well as nice as we can make this with our skills that we've gained is the goal. But like, I don't want, like, let's say I'm presenting my resume and I don't want it to be like purple or pink. I could change the background colors to, you know, something more professional, or depending on where I'm applying for. Purple and pink might be good for some art place. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, okay, so we'll put in some customizable elements, but let's not go crazy on it.
Yeah, not go crazy though. It will be like a simple resume display.
Yeah, more data oriented.
Yeah.
So are we gonna be able to have like fields that they can like choose things and?
They might. This is what I think. For example, at the skills and language, they might like put if there is an input showing like how much is your object oriented. For example, do you have, like how much skills do you have, like you're 80%, 70%, if you're at 60, 70, and then it is a bar where it shows you where exactly, you know what I mean? As
So they
I
can
showed the
choose.
example. If we can do, I think it is easy to do that by JavaScript. If we,
Yeah, we'll talk about that more in features. We're not
Mhm.
there yet still.
yes.
Yeah, I think we
Basically-
could put like an example, like choose this percentage if you're put like hints in it.
Like for example, I'm gonna.
How it will be used examples is different than I think you guys are thinking. Like example 1 would be like a newly graduate student is looking for an app, you know, like it's more about how they're going to use it. Student is looking for a way to share their resume and track their.
Do you want to use sliders or more pick a percentage in the drop down?
Oh, I'm gonna show. Do you would like to see my example again?
Yeah.
Yeah, please bring that up.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
I'll show you.
And we'll talk about those a little bit more when we get to features, okay? We'll go
Right.
more in depth on how this is going to actually run. Right now, we're trying to make a document that kind of shows, it will help us direct us how our app is going to actually work.
Oh, so
And
actually,
then
I'm
in
doing
features,
another.
we can start things.
Oh, sorry. So this is the skills. It shows you the, for example, like each skill. If you have an input, and for example, you write your program, you know, what kind of language do you know, or what skills do you have, and then you put the percentage, do you know, and then on their input, they can shows you the estimate of each skill.
You think they should be like 5% increments? Or like 75, 76, 77, 78.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, I have purchased a website. I got a domain. It's called w5code.com. I was trying to build something similar to the W3 school, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna go to it because it's too difficult.
That looks good though. I like it.
It brings like weird things every.
I like the A's.
But, yeah, trying to fix that, but I'm not sure if I can keep doing it or not. But
How would you do the sliders anyways? Are those like separate images?
Oh, this one?
You know how you would be able to like choose a percentage and have the bar increase?
So what I was thinking, if we run like for loop or if statement, and we say, for example, if the input is 30% or 40%, or it just, we get the CSS implemented by JavaScript. Like, I'm gonna show you the show page resources, and here if we go down, so I have here the class, you know, and then I put like the width and height. So the width like 80%, and then the background, for example, is white. If you look at here, I have the background is white, and then 80%, it is the color green or whatever it is. You know what I mean? It is just a simple CSS to get that form on the screen. But if we have it more implemented with the JavaScript, if we have any input, it can print it as it is like this. but based on the input instead of just having it like hard-coded like what I have done.
Can you use
Does
a
it make
for loop
sense?
in that as well for the bars?
You can use if statement. If the input, for example, 80%, then it should be 80% or something like that. You know what I mean? And then you implement that basis by JavaScript to get the output the same as input, but to form it as the same as I have done it here on the. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. If we could go back to our app design document, please. And then we can, I just finished our examples for how it will be used. And then now we're going to go into features, which is more what you guys have been talking about.
Okay.
So like what this first part is for is so that we know what kind of features we're going to need for this app. Justin's written a couple of the experience that we're able to input experience and credentials and have it automatically formatted. And how it will be used is examples of someone who might use our app and how they will use our app. For example, one, I put a newly graduate student is looking for a way to easily keep their resume information on hand and track the resume data. They can use this app to insert their information, and the next time they're asked to fill in a company's resume, they have their data on hand in the app and can copy from it to make the process easier. I thought that would be a good idea because I often have gone to a company and they're like, here's your resume, fill it out. And maybe I don't have all my numbers ready, or I don't have all my stuff like on hand that I should. And this app will make it easy for me to fill out resumes by having my information right there.
Yeah.
The second example is a person looking for a job would like to send their resume easily to employers. They have finished filling out the app, and the app creates a link for them to send out to their interested employers to access the resume. Since I felt like that was Macrum's main goal for it, we're going to have to figure out a way to format all of this information so that we can send it to someone else and they will see that same information, because that's not local storage API. Local storage means they can find it on their own computer or their own phone, but they need to have a way to get this information if they're like on a different computer, or an employer can access that same information. So we're going to have to think about that.
That is going to be a hurdle, but I think we can figure it out.
And if we can't figure it out, like I said, that's why I thought example 1 would be good, where it's more of a reference for the person using the app than it is for an actual resume to send out. So that way we can still use this idea, but take out some of the more complicated features. Okay, and example 3 is a small business would like a way to have interested in future employees to easily submit their essays in an easy to read and professional format. They suggest this app to people who ask for a resume or a position and ask them to send a link of their finished resume. And that way businesses could invest in this app along with people using it and make it their way to submit resumes. So now with these basic things set up, and we can always go back, this is a rough draft. I say we have this rough draft finished by the end of next week so that we can actually submit it for our assignment, our design. And then but we're going to be building this already starting Monday.
Yeah.
So with all of these basics, this is what we want it to do. Now let's think about what features it's going to need. And we can, of course, use some of the features that Macrum has already implemented. So what is the first feature of this app?
It's going to require some kind of remote storage, maybe on the server, or perhaps some way of referencing a resume that's already been created and not using local storage.
So where we could use a cloud storage.
That's an interesting idea. Like maybe it could use Dropbox or something. I don't know. It might be easier to just. I'm not sure if that would be hard to do or not.
Yeah, another thing we want to do is I don't know if we need a login, like they have to log in their name and password to access their data, and that includes databasing. And that way they can access it on a phone and their computer, so they don't have to be on their computer to access it. Another thing is when we do send that link out, let's say we do successfully pull it off where we can send a link to their resume to someone else, we need to make sure that that person who receives that link can't edit their data. Yeah. They can't go in and access their resume and change things. It has to be more of a display page rather than the actual app page. So that's another feature we would have to think about.
So you need passwords login feature.
if that's what we need to do.
It won't be very secure, but actually a login and password feature is fairly easy to implement.
Okay.
It won't be very secure. I mean, anyone that can inspect the web page elements will be able to, but
break it with this.
like if we could figure out how to create a text file on the server that just has all of this resume data, and then whoever wants to view the resume just types in like some kind of username, then we could use that username as
to pull up the right file.
To grab the right file.
Okay. Yeah, so that would be possible. Now my other issue is sending it out to an employer. Are they going to be able to access that data? But we can jump that hurdle later. We can always subtract that feature, but at least we can make it viewable to the user. That's the main thing we need to pull off here.
If we can find a way to save that data as a TXT file or something on the server, then we could.
Yeah, and then make a separate link that will be more of a visual page link.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we'll think about it. Okay, next feature. Think about the app. What's our app going to do, and how are we going to do it?
We need a form page to fill in.
Like
this?
Yeah, we will need a form page to fill in all the data.
So we're going to be able to have the person submit the regular resume that they already have, like do a word search. I've seen that sometimes.
I'm going to try and make this simple. I'm just going to make them, they're going to enter what they want.
Okay.
Like it'll say, what's your name? Enter your name. What's your education? I've been at this school for this many years. I have this degree, kind of thing. So that's what we need to think about right now. What are going to be the actual inputs for the one-page resume side?
Yeah, let's keep it really easy.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Let's just go the step by step. Let's try not to jump around.
Okay.
We're over 11 o'clock right now, so let's focus. So what are some of those things? Like one would be their name.
Probably the college.
Education. Yeah. And this is more of the resume side of things, not the sliders yet. We're not there yet. This is the resume page.
The previous work.
Name, education, experience, volunteer work.
Probably skills.
Certifications, I guess.
Yeah, skill set.
That might just be part of skills to make things a little simpler.
Okay. I think that's fine. Number 4.
All right. We can always add to it. Okay, number 4. Now, what are some of those other app features, app pages?
Let's create the ability for the user, when they put in their data, for them to be able to create links.
Yeah.
And these links will be to anything that they want to showcase.
Macram, could you pull up your picture sample again? That will help us know what features we need.
All right.
Like on mine, my features were the practice timer, the calendar, the resources page.
You see my screen?
Let's look at these. So we need, what would we call that?
This is what I said: home, my work, resume, and contact. So if I click my work, it just show you like whatever. I haven't done too much to it, but it's still on the work.
Could you go back to that front page?
Here.
That will help us know what we need.
Okay, so the clicking a link is going to take you right down to that.
It is just like down to the second part of the page.
Okay. I'm just writing down what I'm seeing, like their picture here and stuff, but homepage.
I don't know how true it is, but in one of my classes, they say it's real popular to put a LinkedIn account.
Yeah.
I've actually
Yeah,
had some resumes. They ask me,
page.
"Do you have a LinkedIn account?" And I'm like, "I don't. I have no contacts yet."
Yeah, I have a
And then
LinkedIn
it's the
account.
opposite, where I see some companies make fun of LinkedIn, so I can't tell if it's useful or not yet.
Yeah.
We can add the contact feature if people wanna
Yeah, we're
keep
going to
questions.
we're going to have that.
I think LinkedIn's getting bigger. A lot of the companies I work for, most people are on there.
Thanks, Justin, for writing that in.
Mhm.
Now, what would we consider those sliders? What kind of feature would that be? Because I'm thinking, what do we need to build? What are we going to build for this app? So what is that section going to be called? And how are we
The
going to build
visual
it?
page, I guess. I don't know.
Visual skills page.
Yeah.
So you're talking about sliders that you can move dynamically? Or is that just where your experience is at? We're going to put in, the user's going to input a value and the slider's going to reflect that.
I wouldn't even know where to start on the.
Okay, now this
move.
part of resume kind of bothers me. I mean, it's a really cool feature, but typically if you don't have a skill up to like, let's say 80% or more, it shouldn't be listed. Like technically I could put Japanese on those languages, but I can only read and write it. If someone were to talk to me in Japanese, I'm off. It's gone. I don't understand what they're saying. I don't think that's a skill I should list.
Oh,
And you don't want to show something you're bad at anyways.
Yeah, you don't want to show something you're bad at. Like hardware at 50%, that might not be good for an employer to see.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know if we want that feature, because typically you should only list something if you're confident in it.
You need to work
Because
on
like
that.
I said, I went to my interview and they tested me on Java for the Amazon interview, and I did not know Java. I listed Java because I'm in the object-oriented programming class right now, but I got those tests on Java and I only got like 3 of the 7 right. I wasn't really prepared yet. I was only about 50% Java, and it wasn't a real skill.
What you're saying is really true. Like if you're not confident in things, but I remember my professor at BYU here a few years ago said, even if you know 10% of something, you should list it on your resume. I don't know,
let's
but
list
this
skills,
is what,
but I don't think we should show them the percent, because we want to put our best foot forward when we're showing a resume. So I still have Java on my resume. They don't have to know I haven't finished the class yet.
Right, I agree.
It depends. If you have 10% knowledge in something, you have a basis to start from.
Right. So what I'm saying is that since was built, like if you go down, it is here, it says junior software engineer, which means I did not finish the entire period of C++ or the object oriented. I learned this. The web development, I still in the process of 75%. Database, it is I don't know, but this is what I imagined how it should be. Like if you're still a junior or even like sophomore, you cannot put everything 100% if you haven't even done it yet.
Here, I'll show you my resume I'm putting in for internships right now. I'm going to put myself on a plate for you guys.
Perfect.
And because I do have some things listed that I haven't learned yet, but it's a good way to show things. And this is what we could add to that skills page to kind of cover those percentages, but not show that we're not fluent yet.
All right.
You can have a slider as well for like how many years you've worked on certain
we could do sliders for like years example. Okay, so this is a resume I built, and it's what I've been sending out to my employers. And like I've got my education and some things that might show off that I'm a good worker, like GPA, teams I was on for high school, Dean's List for school. And then here's where I think this is what you're talking about, Macram, will come in handy. Relevant coursework. So I'm still in school, but these are the classes and how they're relevant to the degree I'm going for. So I haven't completed these yet, but they show the experience I'm going to have. They show, and this is what I looked at when I looked at professional resumes and got some feedback on resumes. This is a great way to show that you're still in school and you haven't learned these topics fully, but you're in some coursework that's relevant to the job you're applying for.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think yours is much better. It doesn't tell exactly. It makes to the audience or the reader that he's at least you know these, but in the same time you didn't tell them how much percentage do you have.
Yeah.
That's gonna
And like once I finish these classes, I could add these skills to my skill list and then change my relevant coursework out for the new classes I'm in. Like I'll be in the C+ like oriented next semester, or I'll be in the better databasing class, you know? So I can switch these out when I complete them, put them down here, and then put my new classes up there per semester. And then eventually, once you get your degree, you cut this all out, and hopefully they'll all be in the 100% skill section.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
But like I said, 80% above, you should be okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think you should show anything less than 50% unless you mention that you're in school. And this way of formatting it is a way to let them know it's not learned yet, but you're working on it without showing that you're incompetent in it.
It shows direction and goals. And...
So put myself on a plate. That's how I would do it. So I say we add that to our skills, relevant coursework if it's the new student.
Perfect.
You guys, I really need to go, so...
Okay. I just advise you get working on those
video.
coding topics. Please keep us updated if you are on Disagree, because if you're not, we will have to, we'll have to start this app without certain members.
All right. Yeah, I'll work as hard as I can and get it done.
Yeah, we don't want to leave you behind.
Good luck.
Yeah.
I hope you're doing good, and C++ is doing okay with you?
Yeah, I got my code finished, so...
Okay, good.
Yeah. All I got to do my quiz, but we'll get it done.
All right. Good luck.
All right. Well, thank you. We'll see you.
See you later. One thing I was asked in my interview was, what was the biggest project you've worked on? And at the time, all I could say is I made a text-based game. They weren't too impressed with that. So
yeah. And that's where I was lucky. My interviewer was a game developer, so like all my experience actually mattered. It was great. But yeah.
Well, they weren't very impressed with mine. They were like, "You made a game?" It's like, yeah, it only kind of worked.
And see, that's where relevant coursework comes in handy too, because that can count as projects. Like you could say, I was in a group that developed a resume app. Let's see, what's my class? I was in and like to spice up the game we're building in my 260 class, I said, I'm the team lead on the app that we're designing for the 260 class. And that helps. There's a lot of keywords you can use that will interest your interviewers.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay.
So I think that's all our features until we add on to it.
Right.
And then visual mockups, Macrom, if you just want to like take screenshots and add those to the document later.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna send you the link.
Then we can have some at least ideas of what we're building.
I'm gonna upload the resume. I mean that one at my 5W code, and I will share it with you guys so you can have access to it.
Okay.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Yep, that'd be
You're
awesome.
welcome. So you still want me to take a screenshot and put it in the bottom here, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because this is a document we're going to eventually download and send to our teacher. Right now it's just a rough draft, but later on we're going to have to finalize everything and send it.
So since I cannot, should I have like hold on a second, CCAM, how many slides do I have here to take screenshots? So like first page, second page, and third page?
Yeah, if you could do that.
Or just only first or second?
Do them all just to give us some good reference. This is something just to give us an idea of what we're building as we're going. It's probably end result's going to look very different, but it's good to have somewhere to start. Like my little GIMP file, this is not what a website looks like. It's just.
Should I take my picture away then, or just leave it as it is?
I'm pretty sure you can leave it as it is right now. We're not sending this to anyone just yet. We can always put something placeholdery later, like a random businessman from Google.
The picture is not actually the one that I wanted to be on.
You look very dapper in it.
Yes, it's the wedding picture, but it's the only one I just use it. I got it from Google and from my email and just put it on. So
yeah, we can replace that later.
All right.
It's just will give us something to work off of.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, So that's our design document. So next we need to think about, let's skip to 6. We'll go back to number 5. GitHub and NetBeans. We've been asked to do this app over GitHub, and you can use NetBeans to pull it from the repository. So we make sure we're all working on the same project.
Right.
That would be really bad if we were working on 3 separate projects that ended
Mhm.
up very different. So we need to make sure we have a GitHub repository and that it's connected to our NetBeans to push and pull.
Yeah.
Perfect. We can do that.
So who wants to make a repository?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Can we have that under my assignments? Do I have to do it right now?
Okay, so make GitHub. And then just make sure everyone, so I'll put an everyone section to add on.
Because setting up a GitHub repository takes a little bit of time.
A little bit.
Mhm.
Okay, and we need to make due dates for everything as well, so that we make sure we're ready per date, Plus, this will help us for our submission, that we stick to a schedule submission. We can show this schedule and say we hit our dates.
Right.
So Justin, when do you think you could have that finished? I would say Monday or Tuesday. So which day?
The GitHub?
Yeah, the GitHub.
Yeah, it shouldn't take that long. I mean, Monday at the latest.
Okay, so we'll put
I might even get it done today.
213 on there. I'll put 213 for us here too, so that we're all ready and set up by Monday. And Tuesday we'll start our coding.
Okay.
All right.
Start coding.
Yeah, that should go down here instead of you. You're not the only one who has to start coding.
Yeah. Start coding Tuesday.
Okay. Now,
have you guys ever tried to set up a shared repository on NetBeans? You know how?
I have. I do for my 260 class, so I know what to do.
All right, good.
And I know you like to PHP modularize things like we did in our web development class.
Yeah.
I suggest that's what we do for this app. I have loved your coding it. It's so clean and so easy to work with. I suggest that's how we code things, is by doing the PHP style.
Yeah.
I didn't do that for my website. I was too lazy, but I know it's the better way to do things.
It is. Keeps everything nicely organized.
And that will keep us object oriented, and have the different files so we don't break everyone else's while we work on one file.
All right.
That's true.
Let's see. I'm trying to think. The best way to handle that is to create a template, and
Okay.
I think that I'll try and create a template, and I guess I'm trying to think how I would share it with you guys. I guess I'll create a file named template HTML, and anytime you guys create a new page, you use that.
Yeah, and you can just put that in the repository. I'm sorry, you're getting a lot of the setup work.
That's all right. Create template.
Thank you so much, though. I've loved your pages. I'd rather work off those.
Justin, you're the man.
Want not much. If I can only get over this cold of breaking everything.
I think my computer just needs a reset, because I tried to open my Edge browser to try load YouTube there instead, and it wouldn't even work. So it's my internet. It's not your cold.
For modularization. Okay. I'll get that all set up. Yeah, give me till Monday if I got to set all that stuff up in addition to GitHub. So that shouldn't be too hard to do.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, now this is where I don't know what to do, is how do we divvy up the features here? Because the main issue is we need to build all these.
And as I understand it, everybody needs to code in with a group. They need to hit on every coding topic.
Mm-hmm.
So that's hard.
We need to make sure, because how do we divvy up a feature and everyone has to somehow include to that? Because that could break our NetBeans if we're all working on the same file.
Yes, it could.
I think it would count if we're all we're talking to each other. We're helping each other, build this, because we can't all build 5 different remote storages. Let's
Yes,
see.
there needs to be a standard on it.
We could always split these up.
We could do separation through function by function. We could have a standard in the group that when you create a function, you put a comment at the top of the function saying who the author is.
Okay.
Or something like that. Or we could do whole sections where like a single JavaScript file has like a section in it for each person. Does that make sense? I don't know. I'm not sure how we could best split that up so that it doesn't break everyone else's when we modify it.
Yeah, I almost thought we could just, give someone the home page, the resume form, and the contact page.
Yeah, that could work too.
I mean, if you think about it, some of these do include more than one topic, so we can make sure we assign everyone, something that will feature everything.
Yeah.
I think if
So,
we divided, like everybody take like first page, second page, third page, and then work on it, and then at the end we can all get all together.
Yeah, get together and add, create like we should build our pages, but we need some CSS transitions and animations. So near the end, we can come together and decide what those are going to be. Because it'd be ridiculous if every page we clicked on had a different CSS animation.
Yeah.
So we can make sure we're, all together coming up with those animations and implementing them into our pages, kind of thing.
That's correct.
So I say we section it out, and then one of my group meeting agendas is we need to have more meetings throughout the week. And throughout those meetings, we can work together and make sure we're hitting all the same topics, kind of thing.
Yeah, perfect. I hate actually to work like in a group where we can do like small portion of your codes, but if you take the entire block and just work on it, and then at the end get everything together, then it's easy to connect all the function and pages together in the same one page, HTML page, the home page, whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that'll be our plan is give each other a page, and then we'll come together and implement everything else and work with each other. Maybe like, let's say I'm on the contact page, but I'm having a hard time sending out that email. You guys can help me build that, and that could count for, everyone.
Perfect.
Okay, so let's pick some pages we want to build. We have 8 here, and I don't know. Honestly, I'm a little worried we're going to lose some group members next week.
I am too.
Like, I feel like it's going to be Kaylee, Justin, and Macram right now.
Yeah.
Like, Deanna and Jonathan, they're submitting tonight, but there's always that, chance that they get strongly disagree as their first submission score.
Yeah.
I did get that once. And then they'll have only 3 days to finish that.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I think Jonathan has the potential, but Deanna,
I'm worried about.
Deanna, I'm worried about. So.
And I'm only worried about because, like, she could be farther than we know, but it's hard when we haven't seen her at over half the meetings. That it's hard to really gauge where she's at.
Yes, it is. And have you been to her website? It's like she posted her website earlier because she was asking for help.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't access any other part of her website.
Uh-oh.
Like there wasn't any central directory of like, here's my coding topics like we do on ours. It's like she was building off of something she did in the 260 class, the web front end class.
I found it. You just have to click the link. I like her design. It's pink.
Yeah, it's there, but try go to some other topics.
There's video, audio, and some lines.
Maybe I missed it. Man, I sound technologically inept right now, don't I?
Yeah, a little bit. No, I think she's actually farther than I thought.
Yeah, I think she got. Is this her website?
Yeah, I'm on her website right now.
The phone Flava. Site plan.
I think she got.
Yeah, she's actually pretty far, much farther than I thought. I'm glad I'm looking at her website. It helps me feel better.
How are you getting around?
I'm clicking things. Click.
Where?
All right, perfect.
Oh, cool. Making teams. I like it.
I don't see it.
Clicking.
Home, store. The home button doesn't work. Where? How are you
I'm
getting
not
to
clicking
these?
home. I clicked CIT261 examples.
Oh, yeah, right.
Maybe her home isn't working.
Mhm.
I'm not seeing that.
Don't press home. Go back to her, like, the XML HTTP page.
Okay.
And then just click on CIT261 examples, not the home page. And then you find it. And everything works. So I'm actually pretty happy. We might have Deanna for this project.
I think she finished it all, I believe, right? Did she?
Triggering CSS3 transitions and transfer. Oh, that's your topic. That one's not actually necessary. So I'm seeing everything finished.
Okay, that's
We might
nice.
have her next week. So that's
Okay,
good.
perfect.
Looks like we might have her because these all look similar to mine, and I did get, disagree on all of them. The one thing I'm seeing is XML HTTP is not working for me on that page.
Oops. What the heck, dude?
But you guys fixed it, so that's silly to me.
We did fix it, and it was working.
I think she has to include the WebKit in order for all the browsers to support it. She has to include the Microsoft one, and the normal one.
See, and I did that, and he said to remove it.
Really?
I included the whole make sure this works on all browsers thing, and he said, well, actually, it's supported by all browsers. You don't need this, is what he told me.
Oh, because I remember, Justin, do you remember the button when I had to create a new element? It works on the Chrome, but it didn't work on the Safari.
Yeah.
It just was missing the WebKit thing.
No
a WebKit for this animations. Yeah, I needed the WebKit.
And then when I added that, it was supported Safari, and then it worked fine since then.
Okay, well, I don't know what happened, but it was working when I helped her with it the other day, and she's got several errors, and so I don't know why those are there now.
Maybe she hasn't uploaded, or she tried to add something, maybe, because part 1, remember I had to add this part 2 later on, and that's where I ran into a bunch of errors, was doing the part 2.
So do you have anything for me to assign before I leave, because I need to go right now?
So I'm happy to see that Deanna, she might be working with us next week. So we'll still need to hear back from Jonathan. But here, Macron picked 2 pages.
All right, I will take the whatever you want me to take. I'm okay with it.
This is your app. I don't want to take anything you don't want.
So I would say I will take the first and second page, or this. It's the same thing for me. I mean, I can do whatever, guys.
Okay, so you want to do home page, and then remote storage is more of a feature. We don't need, that's not a page, but we will need a login feature. Do you think you can tackle that?
Yeah, I can do that. No problem.
You're on home page and login.
Okay.
And then one thing we need to do before you leave is I want to meet 2 times a week now. Wednesday to help each other, Saturday to make the next assignment.
That'd be fine.
We can meet. Yeah, no problem.
Can you do mornings?
What day would be better for you all during the actual week?
Yeah, during the week, mornings no later than 2. I mean, I can't do after 2 really.
I am available all day, any day. So.
Okay, then Wednesday will be fine.
What Wednesday?
So Wednesday, what time are you best on Wednesdays?
No. What you're talking? What day you were talking about right now?
I want to meet more than once a week, because I feel bad when we're waiting up till Saturday to see if things are done. We only have 3 weeks to build this. So for this first week, especially if we need to see if Deanna and Jonathan are going to be on this project, I'd like to meet up a day before Saturday.
What about I'm okay Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday after. Is that okay for you guys after 5? Because I have work until 5. I work full time.
That's fine with me. What about you, Justin?
After 5, I can't. I work evenings.
So otherwise, I can do it on Friday, because on Friday I work half a day. I work until 2.
Okay, so the reason
Friday's too late.
Wednesday is so that we can see if Jonathan and Deanna need to get some assignments, if they're going to be in our group.
If you meet and then you record that
you're okay to skip out on, because we know you're okay. So I just put your due date. Let's have homepage and login at least started.
All right,
by
I can do that.
3/18.
Okay, perfect.
Macram, you still have submitted a couple of topics, right?
I submitted 5 times and it's still an disagree. So I don't know.
But that's okay.
It doesn't like me that much. So I have 3 more topics where I submitted them, and I'm waiting on feedback. The last 3 ones.
Okay. So you've already submitted, waiting on feedback on those. All right.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for feedback for the last 3 topics. So hopefully today, tomorrow, I don't know when he's.
So yeah,
said
keep
1
us
week
informed about
time.
that.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to take the About Me and Contact page because I have built a contact page many times before.
Great.
Perfect.
And I'll have those started by Saturday, you know, at least getting going. We'll do more
All right.
fine tuning next week.
All right.
You guys like my? Sorry. Go ahead.
You're gonna post the link right after we finish, so I can, if I miss something, I can
Yes,
come back.
I will
later.
post
Okay.
the video link.
Perfect.
Well,
Thank
Justin
you,
will. It's his
guys.
video this time.
All right. Thank you, and
Bye.
have a nice weekend. Bye.
See you. Thank
See
you
you
so
later.
much.
You're
Great
welcome.
app.
Bye. Thanks. Bye.
Okay, Justin, I don't think you need to be signed anything yet because you're doing all that crap. So you can take
Okay.
that will be your assignment for this week, is to basically get us ready to set up. Then me and Macron will build these first pages. Then Deanna and Jonathan and me need to meet up on Wednesday, and otherwise we'll be assigning more pages to ourselves. Otherwise they'll take up the rest of the pages we need.
Okay. I am good for that Wednesday meeting, and it's hard to schedule this when 2 of them are missing. So
We'll post in the thing that we're gonna have a Wednesday meeting. What time is best for you guys, and then see if we can meet up. And I'm available, so maybe you could even skip out on that meeting, and I'll just brief Deanna and Jonathan about what we need to do.
I'll try and be there. But if you want, it almost seems like we might need to do like several meetings with only part of the group there, which won't be very effective. I don't know, that it seems like everyone's schedule's pretty tight.
Except me, because I have no life.
Your life is school. Your life is
Basically.
School. And I just work in the evenings, and otherwise I'm just shuttling my kids to school. So I'm available for conferencing every day, morning or afternoon, and then all day weekends.
Okay, good to know.
Um,
So if we get it before 2, you can be there. Otherwise, we're going to keep up our Saturday 10 a.m. meetings. Those are going to be staying.
Absolutely. But I agree, I would like to meet more than on Saturday. So let's make that work.
So we can fine tune a lot more often.
Yes, we'll need to. Absolutely. How are you feeling about our group members?